Well, there have been a couple of highly publicized hazing incidences in Maine the past year. One with the Lisbon high school football team, the other with the Mount Ararat boys hockey team. There was a major move on to reduce the frequency and harms of hazing at schools, or better yet, just get rid of it altogether.
That's right. A research lab at the University of Maine is aiming to do just that, and it's led by one of the world's leading scholars of hazing prevention. Joining us this morning is Dr. Elizabeth Allen with the University of Maine. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for inviting me.
All right, so Dr. Allen, how did you first get involved with hazing prevention?
Well, I was actually working at a university and working with students and leadership development, working, with helping them to support their clubs and organizations and involvement on campus, and realized that many of them were experiencing hazing. And at about the same time, I had heard there was a death from hazing at another university. And so I looked into it more and just started learning about it and realized that this was happening much more commonly than I had ever thought. And so that's when I set out to just learn more about it. And eventually I became a researcher and actually started studying it and collecting data.
Yeah, we mentioned the two incidences that have been highly publicized again, and we've covered right here on Fox 23. I mean, this has been going on for a long time, whether it's a frat house or whether a sorority or whether it's sports teams. Why do you think it's going on for so long? And now it's like we're meeting right now to talk about that. All of a sudden, it's a problem now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a problem for a long time, but I think you're right in that more and more folks are recognizing it. We're hearing more about it. The cases are making the headlines more. Maybe they're happening more often than before. We don't really know, but certainly people are much more aware of the harm that can come from hazing and much less tolerant of it. I mean, I think the reason why we're continuing to see it is multifaceted. There are many reasons why. I mean, one reason that we know from the research is that many people don't even know how to define hazing when behavior crosses the line into hazing, and then what to do about it. So we need to just really help people to bring more awareness and understanding to what it looks like, what might be some warning signs, and then what you can do to intervene, to help to prevent it or to report it if you know that it's happening.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question here. How can this lab's investigations help facilitate change in general? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. Yeah, we're working really hard to find the most effective ways to prevent hazing. And that's with, college students and high school students. We know that hazing is happening even as early as middle school age. Based on a study. So some of the things that we are testing include workshops and trainings. We're testing, how effective they are if they take a certain kind of approach, maybe using a film where they're seeing other students who are talking about how to build healthy groups and teams without using hazing. And we're also using other kinds of approaches like how to be an ethical leader, how to make values-based decisions as a leader in your clubs and organizations. We're also looking at the role of policy, the role of leadership, like the school leaders, in sending a visible message about the kinds of behavior we expect to see. We're looking at bystander interventions strategies, like how do you help people to learn the skills to intervene if they do suspect hazing or they know that it's happening? How can they intervene and do so safely? Because many students report in our research that they are very fearful of reporting hazing. They're fearful of retaliation, and certainly retaliation does happen. So we want folks to feel confident and safe when they're reporting.
How important is that? It's the saying, if you see something, say something.
Is so important because we know from our data that even students who don't themselves experience hazing Close to 2/3 of them say they know about it happening. They've heard about it from their friends. They've seen photos of it in social media. And many times, the students who experience hazing are telling their friends and they're telling their family members, and they're not reporting it to school officials. So there are lots of folks who could intervene and use that mantra, see something, say something, or hear something, say something. It's really so important because you could save a life. And students, we know there's been more than 100 deaths due to hazing since the year 2000. And so it can be, harmful in many ways and even lethal. So it is really important to step forward and to find a way to report what you're concerned about.
Dr. Allen, do you guys have any sort of website where people can learn more about this research lab?
Yes, we have a website at the University of Maine, the Hazing Prevention Research Lab page. We're also partnering with stophazing.org. That website has a lot of great information for the general public related to hazing, the red flags or warning signs of hazing, and how to talk with your teen about hazing. So I would encourage folks to check out that website as well.
Yeah, and great to get coaches and parents and the adults involved with this too. It's so important. Dr. Allen, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you. Well, coming up.